The admin did not inform the players to invite us, and we were not aware of the game starting, so formal introductions aside, welcome to GT Gamefest. I am Evolution of Void. Joining me is my co-caster today.
Hi, I'm Nicholas.
Alright.
Nexala.
Alright, yep. And we're a bit behind right now because unfortunate delays, but hope you can join it. Stay tuned with us for a bit. Let's go through the draft right now. Obviously, they're almost done. What are we seeing right here?
Well, the draft's pretty much finished by now, so I haven't really had a chance to look at it. But it looks like they're looking for one more, maybe a mid. Skyrath could be their mid right now, but really Wind Ranger or Skyrath could all mid, so really anything goes. There's a mid.
Oh, yep. Could be an offlane Brewmaster as well, considering Wind Ranger does well in both the offlane and mid positions at this point, but I look forward to seeing what happens right here. But introducing our teams, we have the LuxNuts versus Team Seafood. I don't particularly know either of these teams, so
I'm familiar with LuxNuts because I played with them before.
alright, maybe you can give us some dirt about them as the game goes on, but Juggernaut, Skyrath, let's see. What team do you think has, like, okay, when I look at Team Seafood's lineup, I see huge team fight.
I think their support lineup's fine, and they don't overextend themselves in terms of overall core, which is good. And I think LuxNuts has the more core dependent lineup. They have to work on their jug for farm to try to actually carry them the game, whereas Seafood will be able to distribute it more evenly. That being said, though, I don't know if the team Seafood has the real synergy needed for Chronosphere, especially with Witch Doctor Ward no longer working through Chronosphere. He'd have to place it outside, so they don't have as much synergy with it as possible. It might be awkward using it.
It's still a very deadly and potent combo, however, so it should be alright. Let's see if I can I don't know how I can turn off chat.
One possible danger with that, too, is as long as Skyrath, he finds a way to lock down Void in Chronosphere, he can put in a lot of trouble. If he even gets one of his teammates in his Chronosphere, that teammate is dead to rights if Skyrath's not in there. So it's a pretty dangerous situation to be. The Void will have to be very careful with his usage of that ability.
Oh, that's very true. Catches an ally. Yeah. That's kind of the issue that I have with running another melee core like Bristleback along with the Baseless Void. So, look forward to seeing how it is. Storm Spirit can obviously still ball lightning through the Chronosphere as long as he doesn't end up in it, of course. So that's an interesting thing to see as well.
Do you know if he has the ability to attack while he's moving through it?
Yes, he's still able to drop one auto attack as he's moving through. Just like he's able to also cast his Q as well.
Interesting.
So let's introduce the lineups on Team Seafood. We have Master Bait playing the Witch Doctor, QD Panther playing on the Lion, some acrylic words, characters I can't read for Faceless Void, Chinese characters for Storm Spirit, alright, and Dickman for Bristleback.
And on the other team, we have Ninja 2 Nuts on the Juggernaut, B-Bloom on Skyrath Mage, Derek Shizzle on playing the Vengeful Spirit, Captain Arnie on the Wind Ranger, and King Kozlob on the Brewmaster.
Yep. And these lane matchups, Brewmaster versus
top lane.
Storm. Oh,
Might be an early death here.
yeah. Bristleback being engaged upon by the Magic Missile as well as Arcane Bolts. There's a Blade Fury and B-Bloom on the Skyrath will pick up the first blood.
He should have brought a ward there top. Anything like that could have seen that coming. He wasn't prepared.
Yeah, that was a very well executed, damage from the supports just coming out in sequence. So Bristleback not quite playing as safely as he probably should be. Even if it's only one stun, there's a lot of damage coming out from Bristleback plus that level 1 Blade Fury.
Blade Fury happens to be one of the most damaging level 1 skills in the game if he gets most of it off, and he did almost get the entire duration on him. There's very little he can do even if he did skill armor, which he did actually. He skilled his Bristleback level 1, it wasn't enough.
Maybe because the Magic Missile caught him and then Juggernaut was on the other side. So, like, if he was retreating from this point.
We have a smoke gang coming towards mid from top lane.
Oh yeah, they're bypassing this ward as a result. Looks like they will get the jump on Storm. Storm's only level 3, obviously, so
Oh,
this
this is
will
very
be easy
dead
gank.
Storm.
Magic Missile comes out. There's also Master Thunderclap coming out. Arcane Bolt, and that's a dead Storm Spirit.
Now, this is a very coordinated LuxNuts team here. They seem to have really got down what they need to do to secure the early game. Really coordinated.
Yeah, and Brewmaster usually loses this matchup to begin with, so that's a very well-timed gank before the Storm can actually get rolling in that lane.
And the fact that they have the smoke so early, when the Observer Ward was already up, they had already prepared for that situation. A lot of people would just not worry about smoke there because they're not thinking about a ward being there. Usually the wards are placed further up early on.
Stormseer was also kind of overextending if you think about it. They could also have came from this high ground area over here, from the top side of the river, so he could have got caught in multiple angles, so it was really good for them to capitalize on that.
Denied.
So now if we take a look, Captain Arnie, we haven't seen too much action in his bot lane. The supports from the Radiant side are just trying to find some stacks. Probably for the Storm so he can get a bit more accelerated, but Captain Arnie is putting out a lot of right-click damage on his Faceless Void.
Yeah, Masturbate's working a lot about the stacking and pulling right now, but they need to have someone in lane to keep this Wind Ranger off him because Faceless Void actually doesn't have much to do against the Wind Ranger early on.
Faceless Void really needs a lot of space since he doesn't have any abilities to actually farm the lane, and if he gets pressured by a ranged hero like Wind Ranger, who can just put out as many right clicks as she really wants, then the supports really need to be there for Faceless Void. So
Dickman top, not really getting a lot of XP or farm. He's level 2 right now, but as an offlane solo, that's a little lower than you'd want to be. He's not able to get in range, and he might want to consider pulling the large camp on the Dire side, since that's an easy way to pull the creep lane back his way.
yeah, he could be pulling this neutral camp over, or he should be probably stacking the Ancients, which is a really good fallback for Bristleback, normally. But he's really getting nothing out. And looks like we have another smoke gank coming out.
Storm seems to be in a good position this time around, but he still get caught out if they get the long range initiation.
Yeah. Brewmaster's only level 5, Storm's level 5. Storm will actually take opportunity to pick up a regen rune, which is being guarded by Witch Doctor here. So this smoke gank probably will not go through. Their smoke wearing off right now.
He needs to hold on to that rune until he gets to level 6. If he can hold on to it at level 6, he has a huge opportunity to make some plays. That rune happens to be one of the best runes for Storm Spirit of all the runes he could possibly get with Ball Lightning.
That is definitely true. He can just be literally untouchable with the regen rune, if he can avoid all the auto attacks that come through. And with a melee hero like Brewmaster, he might be able to do it. Depends if he can dodge the Thunderclap.
Ring of Aquila up on Juggernaut. He's opted to go that first over Treads. What kind of item build do you think you'll see on him considering the enemy lineup?
Faceless Void, you said? Who?
Juggernaut.
Oh, Juggernaut. I think it's a fairly standard nowadays because they opt for the. If you're going for one early game item, there's usually Aquila or Drums, and Drums takes a lot more in terms of costs.
Bottom lane. Wind Ranger got out fine. She was getting bashed. She had a chance to die there, but no Chronos up yet on Faceless Void. Has no way to deal with the wind run when she starts using it.
RNG Master, right there. This character is literally full of RNG. Anyways, yeah, this is where Wind Ranger probably gets a bit more pressure. Looks like mid lane they're gonna find an engage onto King Islam. Cast jumps on, and actually Brewmaster gets a chance to get the split off. Storm Spirit gets hit by the boulder, still has mana for Wall Lightning, will be able to jump out. And the rotation coming out from Team Seafood is counteracted by the supports and the Brewmaster split. So one split being down is probably a bit more costly for LuxNuts.
There was an interesting decision to be made there, and he decided against it, but he could have tried for the tornado after the stun, and then possibly combine that with a Dispel Magic into a Silence from Skywrath. However, that requires a lot of good timing, and if he'd missed it at all, it would have been for naught, because Storm Spirit has a really quick timing on his Ball Lightning. It's worth a shot, but in the end, wasn't likely to work anyway.
Yeah, I think the better option probably would have been to go for the Witch Doctor, who was at the time only level 2. And I believe with the 2 supports plus the Brewlings, they probably would have been able to get that kill a bit easier than the level 6 Storm. But in the end, no one dies there, and everything looks okay. Meanwhile, Dickman on that top lane finally hitting level 3. Has 1 CS, and will probably pick up a couple right here. Yep, manages to pick up 2 right away. Under his tower, not bad. A Void! Faceless Void picking up the Midas. 7-minute Midas.
It's not that bad. It could have been better, but he's facing a pretty tough lane. Most of his supports have been a little bit away, stacking camps and rotating. But I think that's still pretty good timing. As long as they don't expect to be really engaging a lot early on, it should be fine.
Yeah. Oh, Juggernaut actually getting a Omni Slash kill into Bristleback. Wow.
He's going straight for Mask of Madness. Not even getting treads first.
Or usually you get phase boots, I believe, on Juggernaut.
Really? Is that not a problem for his mana?
No, should not be. With Aquila, that should provide a decent amount of regen for him, so shouldn't be too bad.
That's true.
Bot lane, we have some teleports coming in. Looks like Chronosphere is dropped onto the supports of LuxNuts, and they will find the pick off onto Skywrath Mage. Meanwhile, Captain Arnie does manage to pick up the kill onto Lion. Cask jumping around, will not be able to find any more targets. Chronosphere supports are on both teams falling. Not too bad as Team Seafood now find their way onto the board.
Bounty rune top gotten by Dickman. There's a DD bottom. I don't really know if that's really the best rune right now at this point in the game, but you'll see a Storm Spear try to pick it up. Oh, we might contest it with Brew. Brew and Skywrath heading down bottom. This might be a fight here. Oh, they decided to disengage.
Yep, not quite at that point. And Brewmaster really needs regen right now because both runes were taken. He has his ultimate backup, so he might be able to dodge a death.
Oh, Radiant had a sentry ward for the Dire Rune on the mid lane. He managed to spot that out. They must have seen somehow they had vision at a point where he shouldn't have. Good catch by them.
At some point, Skywrath Mage had a Invis rune, and that sentry ward was down. So maybe they had vision of Skywrath picking up that Invis, because this sentry has been down for quite a while. It's quite interesting. And eliminating this ward right here is very big, because that's a lot of Brewmaster's safety gone.
Speaking of safety, it appears that the Radiant team smoked up. Vengeful Spirit might be caught out here.
Not quite. Looks like they won't be able to get in range. And no one dying as a result of that smoke gank. Witch Doctor still has it up for about 1/3 the duration. We'll walk towards the
This could be bad.
Vengeful Spirit. Yep. No cast bounce. There is a Maledict. And the stun coming out from Lion. Silence comes up. I don't think this will be quite enough for Vengeful Spirit to fall. Yep.
It's only level 1 Maledict. It's not strong enough.
Yeah. So the result, Smoke King does not bear any fruit. And Brewmaster will get a rune finally. There is a regen rune bot, and there is a Radiant Ward being able to see this. So Storm going to make his way to that valuable rune.
This is a problem for Wind Ranger. If he gets that rune, Storm will be right in a good position to kill Wind Ranger.
Yeah, and there's also a Chronosphere up. In fact, the supports from LuxNuts are deciding to make a rotation down bot. Maybe some inner gain sensor, like Stormseer was seen moving bot, and he has the non-bounding rune. So let's make our way down there to help our Wind Ranger. Chronosphere comes out, there's a Storm jump in.
Oh.
Will they be able to save him? Yes, there's a silence.
No, he shouldn't be there, the silence.
Storm Spirit will not be able to jump away at the last second. Quite unfortunate.
Oh, he wasn't aware about the Skywrath rotating in, and he got caught up by the silence. No chance to regen at all, no chance to ball lightning out.
Yep, King of Slav trying to look for the Faceless Void. Faceless Void does time walk into the trees. Will get taken out by the Thunderclap. No RNG right there to dodge it. Meanwhile, on the top lane, it looks like another kill for Juggernaut with the Omni Slash.
Brew with the well-timed blink pick up. Now the enemy team will really have to worry about the easy initiation since they have their main core item.
Yeah, and that awareness from the supports on LuxNuts to know where Storm is heading and just counter that gank, that was just so impressive.
I'm not sure about Storm's position right now. With the Blink Dagger and Silence, he's possibly in danger even that far back.
Oh, Shackle Shot does land. That's a level 3 Shackle Shot. There's a 3-second stun. No one quite jumps in to capitalize it. And Stormseer just trying to put some damage out. He still has that regen rune if he still wants to use it. He decides to pop it right now. There is a power shot to cancel it halfway through, and Captain Arnie, not looking the best HP, might want to back out still. There is no support coming out for Storm Spirit here, as everyone is making their way back to this bot lane. And looks like LuxNuts decides to back out.
That was a really well-timed ward there by Skywrath. Right as the supports came in, he backed out, having just seen them coming.
Yeah, it's a very good ward if you want to siege this tower.
Oh no, there goes the quad stack. That's a
This is
shame.
huge. Storm.
All that work.
Yeah. Storm now looking for an engage. His rune does wear off, and they are going to find Vengeful Spirit. Brewmaster split comes out. They will be able to pick up the Storm Spirit before Vengeful falls. Will fall to the QT Panther's right clicks. And looks like QT Panther will also fall as well. Double kill for King Slav on that Brewmaster. Well played.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Team Seafood right now. Having both lost a stack and a huge team fight in their jungle.
Yeah, and they're going to find another one here if they decide to look for it. There's a double stack.
It's important to consider that that was what their supports have been working on this entire early game. And in lieu of helping out Void and Lane, they opted to give him these stacks in order to accelerate his farm laner. But now they're gone. It's all for nothing.
It's very true indeed. Your supports spend all that time stacking the jungle, and they don't get the EXP as a result of the stack falling. They fall really far behind. And if you look at the net worth, just like, well, actually, the Radiant supports are a bit further behind net worth compared to the other supports on the Radiant, but look at the cores. Storm Spirit is not looking too hot as a result of dying so many times from these wonderful rotations from the Skywrath and Vengeful Spirit.
Void still has some relatively okay farm, but not as much as we need to see from him to really come back from this early deficit.
Yeah, the difference is Juggernaut has found 2 solo kills onto the Bristleback, and Void only has the Midas to make up for that.
He's about halfway to his Mask of Madness now. Once he gets there, he might be able to get some really good solo Chronospheres.
Yeah, if he can find the Wind Ranger with that Mask of Madness, and her Wind Run isn't activated before the Chronos cast, with that, you know, like half a second cast time of Chronosphere, then that's definitely a kill.
There are still more stacked camps that have been cleared. The Radiant Further camp is also stacked. These supports have really been at it.
It's only a double stack, so it's not too big, but Stormstreet will be able to make use of that. Looks like they are going to jump onto King Slav. It's another jump. Hex. There's an Earth Spike. A cast comes out. There tries to be a defensive swap, but it's probably not going to be enough as Maledict will take out the damage. Chronosphere comes out. Great catching up to 2 supports, actually all 3.
There's the Death Ward.
Yep. Juggernaut does drop the Omni Slash. Will start hacking away at Lion. Stormspirit barely making out. Brewmaster now joining the party again. Doesn't get the stun off onto Storm. And that is a 3 for 4 as Brewmaster does pop the buyback to join the fight again. And it looks like only the Dire will be able to capitalize anything from this fight.
I was a bit questioning of the Witch Doctor decision there. He really delayed that Death Ward until it was almost a little too, I want to say, and afterwards he was caught in an awkward position because his the enemy cores had gotten ahead of him and he couldn't get away.
Yeah, that was a really good Chronosphere, but they weren't able to do anything after that. And there's like no damage coming through the Chronosphere, so it's really unfortunate. King Slav trying to capitalize on the Shackle Shot will die as a result, as the Finger of Death does come out. So a bit over aggressive right there as Wind Ranger dropping a good stun, but Team Seafood coming back to life will be able to abuse the fact that the overextended Brewmaster was there.
Funny enough, the lowest total net worth on the enemy team, or the Dire team, is on Skywrath, despite him being on the currently the leading team. It's been surprising to see that the leading team's supports are so low in gold.
Yeah, and he has 2 kills, which is, you know, more than most people have in this game so far. with only 2 deaths. It's actually kind of really weird.
Storm initiating in mid lane. Wind Ranger caught out.
Oh, there's a 5-man rotation mid to get that kill on the Wind Ranger. And it wasn't even a Chronosphere committed, it was just the Vortex from Storm. What do you think about this Storm build? This Storm skill build has fallen out of favor, maxing out the Electric Vortex. Normally, nowadays we see a max static Remnant as well as Overload.
Well, the limitation with that build is it requires a somewhat good early game to have the mana regen for it. It's because static Overload doesn't increases in mana cost over time, whereas the Overload itself does not increase in mana cost. So if he doesn't have the items to sustain that mana, he might opt for just Overload over static Remnant levels.
Cast coming out. Nah. Annoying Ninja 2 nuts a bit, but yeah, you have a point. Obviously there is a bit of mana problems for Storm initially, and since he is going, looks like he's going for Orchid, or he's set really far behind, probably won't be able to do very much until he gets that Orchid, a bit more levels. Normally I think of the Q and E max build as a very good build for farming as well as getting just more damage out. So
yeah, definitely. The team definitely has enough CC in the meanwhile, but Stormsphere is playing safe with that build just in case.
okay, looks like they're trying to find a Chronosphere, but there's not even enough mana on the Void, but Juggernaut jumping in very hyper aggressive, will not be able to get the Omni Slash out even. Now Brewmaster jumping in with the Brewlings, not sure where he's going at all. Stormsphere will find the jump on the Vengeful Spirit as he is over committing, and now the Brewlings are forced to back out a bit. There was a smoke pop from Witch Doctor, but that mechanic doesn't even work anymore, so.
It was a really awkward engagement by Brewmaster. He seemed really indecisive about what he wanted to do that fight and ended up not amounting to anything. Big turnaround overall for the Team Seafood. They have a lot more net worth after that fight. It'll help them come back.
Huge. That was the about 3.5k gold advantage of LuxNuts dropping down to only 1k now. That was just Juggernaut dying off the bat. That was really uncalculated, maybe. They didn't expect all 5 to be there.
That shows the limitation of the Mask of Madness build. Sure, the DPS increase is great, but if you get caught out before you can even utilize it, then you're put in a really bad situation where you may not be able to use anything.
Top lane, they try to get the jump onto Wind Ranger, but Juggernaut there to counteract the kill with a well-timed Omni Slash. Will find the kill on the Bristleback.
Yeah, even that Bristleback passive not enough to stop that amazing power. I'm not entirely sure how that calculates his position relative to Bristleback, if it counts as attacking from behind or attacking the front.
That's a very interesting thing to think about, because Juggernaut technically just jumps on all sides while he's moving around. So maybe it has to do with like his position during the jump. I don't know.
Maybe. It might
really
change.
Weird. Yep.
Top lane being pushed. They're looking to defend on a Team Seafood.
They don't have the Brewmaster split for another 10 seconds-ish, and they don't have the Omni Slash because they did commit it last fight, so. Or a last little skirmish. Looks like there's a rotation now. They're gonna be able to find Witch Doctor if they just look a tiny bit. Yep, they will be able to find Witch Doctor, and they do get a shackle shot onto line as well. 2 supports down off the bat. Sorry, there's a bit of echo.
Boy might need to leave. He might be in trouble. Omni
No
Slash not up.
Yeah. Not quite sure. They're just looking to pressure this tier 2 now. And with the 2 supports down, that's a lot of their main damage coming out during the Chronosphere already lost. So it looks like they will be able to take this tower for free. The only one who's really opposing this Storm Spirit hitting this Invis rune. Maybe looking for a good engage. LuxNuts dropping very, very low. Storm Spirit, Invis rune about to wear off. Courier coming through. What will Storm Spirit decide to do? There's a Vlad's pickup, and the Courier will get sniped.
Brewmaster stopped there for a second.
I think he was trying to micro the Courier away, but against a Storm Spirit, that's not very possible, is it?
No, I guess not. I'm interested in his choice of Vlad's. The only other people that can really benefit from that lifesteal-wise are Juggernaut, and he already has his own lifesteal, so He either does not like the idea of a helm, or he really wants that armor.
Yeah, I would assume against the Bristleback as well as the Void, he's looking for the armor as well as maybe the bonus damage because you have the Vengeful Spirit bonus damage aura as well as of Lads. That's a potential like I think 50-ish% base damage increase when you have all this maxed out.
Well, when you consider that the aura does persist through his ult, unlike a Helm or a Mask of Madness, if he wanted to do right-click with his spirits, that would work. I've not really seen spirits usually used for right-click purposes, but it's possible.
Oh, it's an overall team benefit because Wind Ranger can be a huge potential right-click damage, although the build that Wind Ranger currently has does not suggest such a thing. The overall 50 damage base damage increase from 36% from Vengeful Spirit, 15% from Vlad's, that is still a huge thing. Like 50% increase for your base damage on Juggernaut or Wind Ranger,
That's pretty good, considering that Juggernaut's got a lot of farm right now.
Oh yeah. Looks like there's a smoke gank. Looks like they're going to check into the Roche pit, not find anyone. Will they decide to go onto it? It's a question.
I think they're weighing their options right now. They're not sure whether or not they actually want to go for the gank or take the objective. Seem indecisive.
Yeah, not looking. That looks like Team Seafood. Oh, there's another smoke gank coming out from LuxNuts now. Looks like they'll make their way towards the Roche pit. Like they haven't showed up on the map for a while now.
Oh, they're gonna take it.
Yep. This observer ward obviously gets bypassed. They might have saw the screen wave of terror, but it looks like they do not respond whatsoever. So Bristleback will return to farming up his stack at the Ancients, and LuxNuts will be able to find a free Roche. Storm though, Storm jumping in, will jump over the Roche pit. We'll be able to see them take it. Roshan does fall. Now Stormtrooper not in a very good position as that silence comes out.
That was not a well-positioned storm ball lightning. Ended up right on top of that cliff, and with the silence by Skywrath so nearby, there's not much you can really do there.
Oh yeah. Skywrath, without Storm having a BKB, just really makes Storm Spirit vulnerable, and the risk did not pay off right there.
If Storm can finish his Orchid, he could aim to just focus Skywrath first, but his farm is not up to par right now. He can't really find the farm necessary to finish an item.
Yeah, and that's half the problem with the Electric Vortex build. But he is getting points in the Static Remnant. He's just not utilizing the jungle, maybe, enough. And looks like they will go into this tier 2 bottom. No defense coming out whatsoever from Team Seafood. What options do you have left right now?
Their option to take the mid tier 1 right now, but I'm not sure if that trade's worth it, especially considering that this Deathball might consider pushing right into tier 3 and try to barracks.
With the Aegis up on the Juggernaut, they certainly have the space to do that. And, BKB now picked up, coming on, well, not quite on the courier yet, but Juggernaut has it. Lion finally pick up a Blink Dagger.
It's up to Team Seafood here to really determine the outcome of this match. They need to get the good Chronosphere and Death Ward out, otherwise Brewmaster will just completely shut them down, enough for Juggernaut to obliterate them with his damage.
Yeah, well, the Brewlings will get caught in the Chronosphere if he's not careful, and I also think it also comes down to how the Witch Doctor uses his ward, because it's only level 1 ward, and if you put all that focus onto the Aegis Juggernaut, that fight probably does not turn out how you want it to be. Looks like LuxNuts will decide to back off now. There's only one tier 2 left on the map. Maybe looks like they will decide to start pushing down that lane instead.
A lot of map control lost here by Team Seafood. They have wards out there, but I don't think they feel safe.
Yeah, actually, there aren't any wards whatsoever for LuxNuts right now, so their position is fairly safe. Looks like they will Hex and find B-Bloom on that Skywrath Mage. Will get caught out and killed instantly. Just not quite where you want to be as a Skywrath all alone. And the Lion Blink Dagger finally revealed does pay off.
Yeah, I think the LuxNuts really does need to get some wards. They have the map control via the damage, but they need the vision to really maintain it. They don't want to lose that map control because that's what's keeping them on the front of the push here. They can continue to pressure them back into their base.
Yep, and right now they just don't feel safe. Like, even though they do have the damage pressure, they're just not being able to go out and fully utilize what they have, even with the Aegis. And that Aegis, we're about halfway through, so.
Windranger opting to delay her focus fire as long as possible. Apparently she's not a fan of the damage build, which has been somewhat popular recently. She's got enough on her team, it's not a concern, but I feel personally that the focus fire is becoming a lot more popular and should consider some points on it.
Smoke gank down mid, onto Line. Line does have a blink dagger though. Does act fast enough, shackle shot will not quite land, and the concussive shot will get disjointed. That was very slow reactions from King of Slob once the smoke broke.
Yeah, hesitation.
Yeah, and Line getting that trigger finger to turn around and blink away. Kaz comes out, shackle shot does not quite latch onto Dickman. Still an awkward word to say, I guess. Name. And LuxNuts taking the opportunity to fly out and not fly out. DPS down this tier 2.
Storm Spirit's up top, not really concerned about the team fight going on near his mid tower yet.
Yeah, LuxNuts locked up between the illusion and the illusion to do that cast. Will drop fairly low, but he still has the Aegis for a while.
Storm's finally finished his Orchid. He can have it delivered soon, and he might have a little more survivability if he can focus down the Skyrath before he gets silenced himself.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a huge pickup. We also have to consider Wind Waker's also looking for that Orchid, and she's about 1k gold off from that. That won't be a bad thing to also have. Another silence for Storm Spirit, who's not even anywhere near his BKB. That's going to be a problem for him.
That should definitely be his next pickup. He may not get it anytime soon, but he'll need that at some point considering the item and silence lineup by the enemy team.
Yeah, and with Windranger not having 8 points in the focus fire, their only tower siege at the moment is Juggernaut having the Aegis, which has expired, so this game is going to drag on, undoubtedly.
Looking at the net worth so far, support's still on the low. Still surprised to see Skyrath so low. I expect him to have more fun concerning his engagement in these fights, especially on Storm Spirit, but nothing to show for himself.
Maybe he's just the ward whore. It's unfortunate.
It might be. He might be one in charge of that.
He's holding onto 4 observer wards. I don't quite understand why.
He needs to drop those. Engagement top lane.
Oh, Storm Spirit jumping on to Captain Arnie. That's just an easy pick off with that Orchid reveal. And now you just, if you're on the Dire side, you can't afford to be alone and give away free kills to Storm Spirit at this point in the game.
Yeah, that Orchid is what he needs to now succeed solo and finally force the Dire team to group up and really force himself to try to commit to that push again. They don't really have too many other options in terms of farming solo.
Vengeful Spirit, deny the tower. Come on. Deny the tower.
Oh, Storm Spirit silenced up by Skyrath.
Up top lane, yeah. Looks like he will get picked off. 2 supports soloing your mid laner. That is not a good thing, Team Seafood.
That Mech's silence lasted so long he had no chance to get out.
Yeah. This is why Skyrath is just so good versus Storm in the early phases. It's not really early, but Storm doesn't have anything near a BKB, so...
Even a Lincoln's would do something.
Yeah. Lincoln's would be really good, but because the Arcane Boat's the only really consistent Lincoln's popper on the team. Otherwise, you're dodging stuns.
And that only procs when it hits you too. So if you dodge the actual hit, it doesn't even proc it at all.
Oh yeah, that's very true. The other thing is Drunken Haze, but Drunken Haze doesn't have quite a great range from Brewmaster, so.
To be fair, if I were Storm, I wouldn't want Drunken Haze on me anyway because there goes a good bit of my DPS.
Oh, that's true. But BKB solves that overall as well, so. We'll just see how he works towards it. Obviously, dying so much is not good for him. He decides to pick up a set of wards. Maybe looking for more split push pressure and warding as he goes. Invis rune coming out. He will get spotted out by this sentry ward that was just recently set down.
Oh no!
Maledicted dodges out the Earth Spike.
Maldic doesn't have a damage tick until the first pulse.
Yeah. And maybe we should have seen a Hex out from Lying first because of the instant Hex. Obviously being a bit better than Earth Spike. In terms of delay, that trigger finger right there. Coming out from Blink Daggers. Really paying off.
They got greedy with the Maldic. They had no way to actually stop from blinking once they revealed they saw him.
Maybe an auto attack first.
A stun, something.
Yeah, instant Hex is what they needed right there, but I don't know. Well, let's see. They did have Link Finger of Death.
They could have opened with that.
Yeah. That's a 1.5k HP Brewmaster. With level 1 Hex, I think they could have done it. 2 supports. Not bad damage at all. Lion just does so much. Well, state of the game, Bristleback actually coming out on 4th on net worth after that horrendous start in the off lane. He's just racking up so much farm priority, and you know, supports are getting nothing. I've seen so many teams prioritize farm onto Witch Doctor just for that Ags.
That's a good pickup, definitely. Especially because they have the Faceless Void, and even if the ward doesn't work in the Chrono, if they place it outside, they get a good Chronosphere. That can be a team wipe.
Yeah, there's so much damage potential, and this Witch Doctor is 1.3k gold away, not looking for any farm for himself. I think that is a mistake. Like, he could be farming this camp right here with his casks. They aren't doing anything.
Engaging on Captain Army.
Oh yeah.
Zon.
Cutie Panther jumping in. Chronosphere?
No Chronosphere.
Not being committed. Yeah.
You see, the Bristleback's been farming the Ancients all this time, and there are some other stat camps. If Witch Doctor wanted to use his cask to farm those, he has the ability, but he seems to be dedicating all the farm of the team to their cores. Not worried about himself right now.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a mistake, because right now, like, they're not utilizing the jungle. They're just very focused on maintaining map pressure over here, which is very important, yes, but they're just getting out-farmed completely. This Juggernaut is 5k ahead of Void.
Double damage top.
Yeah, there's no wars on that, so neither team has any idea there's a double damage. Storm now checking it out. This might be huge.
It's a good rune for increasing your DPS. It's enough to burst down a support on his own much faster before they can get a rotation.
Actually, the DD rune gets switched to a haste rune as the rune spawn.
Oh.
That's quite unfortunate, but
he doesn't really need that rune so much.
Haste rune, Storm will jump onto B Blue on that Skywrath Maze. Orchid comes out, he will get first down so easily. And looks like Lion goes onto Wind Ranger, and they will pick up that kill with.
There's the ward.
Chronosphere, Death Ward. This Aegis is immediately popped. King Gislav now jumping in, still has a Master Split, hasn't used it quite yet. Ninja Lux comes back up, will drop the Omni Slash, does huge amount of damage, will take out the Lion as well as Void. Void dropping super low, will be able to jump out and dies to neutrals. Now Storm coming in with no mana, gets chopped down after that boulder stun from Earth Ruling. And now Dickman's the only one left. That boulder will land, and LuxNuts just starts dishing out the right click damage. Basher stun coming out. And Kingislav doesn't quite have the mana for another Brewmaster Thunderclap. Will is preventing his bottle from recharging. They will find all 5 after that Roshan death.
I'm not sure how I feel about that Death Ward usage. They focused on the Juggernaut, but he had just gotten the agent, so it only played into the plans of LuxNuts there. It didn't amount to anything.
Yeah, exactly. If Witch Doctor decided to use that targeting onto the Brewmaster before Brewmaster got the split off, that could have been an entirely different fight, because you would have avoided so many right-click stuns from the Brewmaster.
Yeah.
That was just a bit unfortunate to use the Death Ward only for that Aegis.
When the enemy team like that gets an Aegis on their core, it may be the only option to have, just to focus the rest of their teammates first and just try to survive that initial burst. Because if he focuses Aegis down and his teammates are still up, there's nothing. You've lost a major amount of damage, and now you're just going to get the payback.
Yeah. They just too much time wasted on that Aegis. As a result, you know, 5 for 2. Roshan does go in favor of the Dire. Aegis obviously pops straight away, but LuxNuts just well, the lead isn't really gaining that much. It's still jumping around. 3.5k gold advantage in favor of LuxNuts, but still looking fairly good for LuxNuts as long as they find the time to siege. Looks like double damage Juggernaut now charging out, has that Omni Slash. We'll get Force Staff into Basil's Void thanks to that Captain Arnie Force Staff and just chops down Basil's Void.
Yeah, nothing much he could do there. It was just he could have tried time longing, but it almost didn't have enough time. The basher on Jug could have stopped him. I didn't see if it actually proc there or not.
Yeah, that BKB beam popped out, not quite resulting in anything as he gets hit by like 7k damage.
Man running against the towers.
Yeah, Faces of Void does buy back, has that Chronosphere. Storm now TPing in.
Brewmaster could die before he guts it off.
Even with a Finger of Death, just not quite enough. Brewmaster not looking to commit at this point, and Dickman just wants to find maybe a Bruling kill. They do get the tier 3, but nothing after that.
Used to micro those Brewlings, they're not being put to use.
It looks like he just wants to find a way out right now, but V-Bloom will probably fall right here. Death Ward doing huge amount of damage. Good Force Staff coming out from the support. Vengeful Spirit will get the Juggernaut out of the fight. Captain Arnie now looking for a shackle. When running in, doesn't quite find anything he wants. That's a dieback from the Void. And being traded off for a support kill only.
Surprisingly low,
mid lane will find the kill into Juggernaut finally, and with the Orchid onto Vengeful Spirit. Actually though, the minus armor from Wave of Terror.
And the Medallion of Courage.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was activated, but
it was not activated?
I'm not quite sure.
Oh, she needs to use that if she's got that picked up.
Yeah. She was silenced by the Orchid from Storm, which allowed Storm enough space to kill the Juggernaut, but once the Wave of Terror came out, just the one right click afterwards, managed to pick off the mid laner.
500 gold from Ags for Witch Doctor. That could be a big turning point this game. They're pretty behind on kills right now, but that's just the edge they need to come back into this.
They really needed that Death Ward. Did you see how much damage that Death Ward alone did to the Juggernaut in last
And that would switch from just one of them to all of them in range.
Yeah, the Scepter bounces would do so much damage. And Chronosphere wasn't even used in last fight. So, if they had both those used in combination, Team Seafood might be able to find their way into this game as a result of LuxNuts not being able to push high ground. Ooh, it's just it's not looking as good as it should be for LuxNuts, even though they have this huge net worth advantage. If they can't push high ground, what can they do?
Part of that, I think, is to blame on the fact they're really not keeping their vision necessary to maintain their map presence. Ooh, a pause coming out.
Yeah, it's like Windranger not having any damage focus, like not putting points in the focus fire, not using that on towers. They managed to find the tier 3, but they're not getting anything else, and they're only maintaining the same rate of farm speed, even though Juggernaut's super far ahead.
Yeah, I would almost suggest a Desolator pick up on Windranger, because even if she doesn't get Ags right now, she can at least boost the damage of Juggernaut against those towers, since they prefer to do that. Juggernaut also has the spin, which works on towers and keeps them magic immune in the meanwhile. So, if they don't want to opt for Ags, they should at least opt for some way to, you know, really chip away at those towers. Smoke ain't coming out near bottom lane.
Yeah, there was a ward sent down right here, but obviously not swatting him out. Vengeful Spirit made her way down to mid lane. There is only the Faceless Void. Orchid Silence coming out. BKB is popped. Will be able to time away. Now in a corner. Oh, will catch a very good Chronosphere. They will be able to burst down the Windranger and the Juggernaut looking quite low as well. Juggernaut going ham with that Omni Slash. Picks up 3 kills in an instant.
Oh,
now,
no.
Dickman joined the fight a bit late, has popped that Crimson Guard only for himself. He will fall with that Abyssal proc coming out.
Witch Doctor had the money for his Ags. He had the money, but he didn't bring it out. And that could have been the difference. The damage from the ward was there, but it wasn't everywhere. It needed to be the bounces. And
yeah,
that might have cost him the fight.
That Chronosphere catching up to the two important cores, that could have been like everything right there. But without the Death Ward Ags, no bounces coming out, and Juggernaut able to just go ham with that Omni Slash.
This looks like it might be 2 racks here. Could see a GG. They may try to keep it going, but this is a pretty bad deficit to come back from.
Yeah, the melee racks just fall immediately. This range rack's jumping instant as well, and they can just fall back now with 2 lanes of racks. Wait for the pressure to start coming in. Storm Spirit.
Caught out. Brewmaster's caught out, but they have no damage to really stop him. He got himself blinked in the trees.
Oh.
He can't move. He's stuck.
Stuck.
Oh. He missed his auto attacks.
The dodge coming out from his brawler. That's kind of funny, actually.
Oh, that's sad. That line must have been hoping so much that they could get something to compensate for those racks, but no. Not even that.
Maybe he had Earth Spike and looks like he had used the Hex.
He used both the spells really quickly.
Yeah. Okay. Boots of Travel being bought up by Brewmaster after his Assault Caress pickup. Just going for the Aura Whoring for Brewmaster. We'll get that regen rune pops.
Finally bought the Ags and the Witch Doctor. It's a long time coming.
Yeah, 42 minutes. If they had this Ags like 20 minutes ago, do you imagine how far ahead they could be?
Oh yeah, with the Chronosphere being on point most of the time, they would have multiplied their damage times 3 almost. More than enough to make a huge difference in most of these fights.
Yeah, and that's just the difference of putting farm priority.
Oh, Swarm.
Okay, work it onto Storm Spirit. We'll get swapped back into the Mystic Flare. What a well-executed kill.
So quick, nothing he can do about that. He just can't be caught out like that with the work it on the enemy team.
Yeah, it's like when you have 2 silences and yeah, he actually had a BKB from the last fight.
Not to use it. Apparently his death is worth the 10-second usage.
Does he have buyback? He does have buyback. Alright, so it's not too bad.
Still an interesting choice. I'm not sure I agree with that.
Yeah, that could have been avoidable. And I guess he wants to save it, and well, now LuxNuts looking to push down the last lane. Void.
Juggernaut level 22, and pretty high net worth right now. He's gonna cap out though, so they might want to They have a limited time left until the enemy starts catching up with them.
He could buy a Scotty right now. Looks like he's about to get sent out. So let's see. Will Storm Spirit feel the need to pop his buyback? They are going to take this tower very fast. They do need to respond as soon as possible. Swap out. We'll find the Witch Doctor. The Witch Doctor Ags is not going to pay off whatsoever.
Oh no, 5 seconds. He still needs to buy back. This is it. That Storm Death actually made a difference.
Yeah.
Not using that BKB there.
Maybe playing a bit too greedy. Chronosphere comes out, but there's not going to be any damage. He catches his 2 of his allies and gets instantly brought down by the Skywrath Mystic Flare. Storm Spirit buys back right now because he held it. We'll jump in. They will find a kill onto King of Slav most likely. Gets the Brewmaster split at the last second. And the Lion falls as well. Now Purge down, gets a stun from the Basher. Ultra kill for LuxNuts, Ninja 2 Nuts, and GG call come out. Wow.
Well played by LuxNuts.
Yeah, that swap onto Witch Doctor was insane. That just eliminated all their damage from the Chronosphere.
They had one final chance and LuxNuts was ready for it.
Yeah.
No way to really come back there.
Catching off the Witch Doctor who just purchased his Ags, no buyback for him. That Chronosphere that came out landed onto both Lion and Bristleback, so his team really had no damage follow-up. It was just way too reliant on Witch Doctor who instantly got picked off, so it's quite unfortunate for him. And well, that was the first game. Sorry we joined a bit late in comparison to maybe what we should have been, but we'll have to make sure that we get into the next game on time. So that was round 1, Team LuxNuts versus Team Seafood. We'll have to see if we can find the bracket link. This is a round robin with only 8 teams, I believe, so we have a bit of a small turnout, but hope you guys can stay tuned. I'm Evolution of War.
I'm Naxla.
And we'll see you soon.